Hey guys, welcome to Magic Behind the Magic. I'm just on my way to a balloon workshop, hence the balloons behind me, but I've got a little bit of time to spare. I'm just around the corner from it now, so I figured I would take the opportunity to talk to you guys about accountability. Now, accountability, when you're working for a boss or a company, you not only share the decision making, so if you need to make a big decision, you have someone who you can go to in the hierarchy that can approve it, or you can discuss it deeper, and then when you make that decision is made, it's shared between everybody, but you are accountable to the hierarchy. So of course, at the end of each day or end of each week, projects need to be finished and things like that, and you are held accountable to some degree depending on your job and the circumstances. When you work from home for yourself in your own business, you're really accountable to nobody. And when the first business I ever ran myself was a recording studio, and I ran that from home, and I didn't understand, one, how to run a business properly, and two, about accountability, and just also about marketing and things like that. So basically I had no business plan, I had no structure to what I wanted to achieve because I didn't know what I wanted to achieve. All I cared about was having people come in and record. So every time it dried up, I would ring the local paper, put another ad in, and then sit back and wait for the phone to ring. I never really did anything proactive in creating that business and making it worthwhile. I might have a little bit at the start, but realistically, I sort of got it up and running, put a website up, and then sat back and wondered why it wasn't working. So now, like with the magic business, I'm not sure where that's come about, but accountability, I still, realistically, I'm accountable to only myself. Of course, my wife chimes in a little bit, and I also guess in that sense, there's more at stake now. Like when I had the recording studio, we didn't have kids. We basically just sold some properties, and we had a pretty low mortgage. And these days we've still got a very low mortgage, but we do have kids, and we've built a lifestyle that we like, and I like to keep my family in that. So in that sense, I am accountable, but I also there's a thing called motivation, and this is going to be another subject again further down the track. I think this is all sort of winding in together, but motivation for me is really strong with this business, and I can't explain why. I think I saw something the other day that basically said, when you find your passion, you will always be motivated, and I think that's sort of what it is with me. I mean, I love performing in front of kids. I love entertaining kids. I love building my business, to be honest. I love getting bookings. I love seeing progress. I love seeing the achievements, and I think that's like my motivation, and for that reason alone, I'm accountable to myself for that. I find if I don't achieve over for a couple of days or something, like if I'm a bit slack, or for whatever reason projects don't get finished, I don't become depressed, but I certainly I don't feel complete, and I always feel like when that happens, I often find myself staying up till midnight just working on something, because then I can go to bed and I can sleep well again. It's one of those sort of weird things. And with that, I have to say that came about over a period of time. So I basically trained myself to be that way. When I first started the magic business, of course, I was working full time in the theatre, but I would come home and I do 2 to 3 hours work each night. Instead of sitting down in front of the TV, I would be at the kitchen table with the laptop out and working away there. And so over a period of time, I built that up, and basically started creating a business which I could then do full time. So in that process, I have taught myself to run a business. I've taught myself to stay motivated, and it's like a habit, I guess, more than anything. My accountability is purely for myself, but I have created the desire to account for myself, I guess. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know if you guys feel like you're accountable to anybody with your own business, or whether you're just sort of playing with it, whether you'd think it would be easier if you had somebody you're accountable to as well. I mean, that can also make a big difference, I guess. Let me know anyway, and if you haven't yet subscribed, always remember to subscribe. That way you get these videos as soon as they come out. And of course, they're doing it in this format. Let me know again. Some of you have come back and said you love it. I haven't heard from everybody, but let me know if you like it, if you don't like it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rolling with this for a while because it's churning out a lot more information in a shorter space. I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for watching.